What's up, everybody? It's your man, KJ the Great, dropping another edition of All Sports Media TV. But first, I want to say, I hope and pray everything is great your way. Now, let's get right on into it, guys. We got some crazy news. Wouldn't necessarily say too crazy because I guess you could kind of see it coming. Out of Camp Garcia, that being Ryan Garcia, who is now 23 wins, one loss, no draws, 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He was last in the ring against Gervonta Tank Davis, and he was stopped in the seventh round via body shot. Gervonta Tank Davis is now 29 wins, no losses, no draws, 27 wins by way of knockout. Everybody knows that this was probably one of the biggest pay-per-views that will be in 2023. The build-up was crazy. The fight brought out all the stars. It was in Las Vegas. There was a lot of talk about, rematch clause. Rehydration clauses. All of that. They did the press conference and over in Brooklyn, and then they did one in LA, and it all led to Vegas. And it was an epic fight night, explosive card. Love to see it. We got to make sure we keep these guys making these big fights. But back to the case in point. Excuse me. So Ryan Garcia and his Hall of Fame trainer, Joe Goosen, have parted ways. Now, I did say that this was big news, and it was something that, I previously said it was like something we could have seen coming. Because if you go back and look after the fight, Joe Goosen, Bernard Hopkins, and Oscar De La Hoya, three people who were in Ryan Garcia's corner, were not there for the post-fight press conference. Typically, post-fight press conferences, you'll see the trainers, they'll be there. Now, they left this young kid. They left him out there by himself. Although he talked himself up into this fight, what I'm saying is that Ryan Garcia, it's coming out now that there was a potential mole in his camp. But whether that's true or not, it came out afterwards that Ryan Garcia was only training up to 2 or 3 days a week. Mostly it would be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Joe Goosen, he did say that Ryan Garcia isn't the type of fighter that you train, you kind of work with them. But that's not going to cut it at this level. The level that Tank is on, every time you see Ryan Garcia in these training videos, he's working with somebody from within his circle, and he's always practicing bad habits. A lot of people, they get enamored with Ryan Garcia's speed, that and then leading up to the left hook. They always get overly excited about that. But what they don't do is slow the videos down and pay attention to the bad habits that he is practicing. Those bad habits that he practiced, it showed up in the ring, and it showed up and it backfired. It got him exposed, and it got him ultimately stopped. Throwing those left hooks with your hands down, leaving your body open, leaving your chin open, overextending, chin over your knee, just a lot of bad things that Ryan Garcia was practicing that showed up in the fight. Ultimately, I believe, he's young. Those things can be corrected, but he needs to not necessarily be humbled, but he needs to have a trainer who is going to tell him, commit to me, I'll commit to you, and we commit to the sport of boxing. Because training 2-3 days out of the week and you want to be one of the top guys in the sport, it's not going to cut it. I mean, you got amateurs that train, nonstop, 5, 6, 7 days a week. And even then, some of them, they don't pan out. But that's the type of training that it takes, especially to be on an elite level. It don't matter if you're flying across country, you have to set those things up. Finding out that, he would train 2 or 3 days a week, show up to the gym kind of in the same manner that he did when he was with two-time trainer of the year, Eddie Reynoso, who trains Andy Ruiz and Frank Sanchez and undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez. They would say, he would tell him he would be at the gym at 12, wouldn't show up at 2 until 2. Then he would leave after about 30 minutes or so. That's not enough. That's not going to cut it at the elite level. So he definitely needs to find a new trainer, get rid of some of the guys who are in his camp, and that being the ones that's just telling him what he wants to hear. We call those yes men. He has to get rid of those guys. Then when he gets rid of all of that, he definitely needs to be cautious of who he lets in. Because, you know, everybody comes with something. Somebody comes in. You need to be cautious, because if this mole thing is true, then maybe, yeah, you can say that. But, you know, you have to be weary of who's in there. You know, right after the fight, Ryan Garcia, you know, he talked about like possibly having a rib injury. He got caught right there saying, you know, he got caught in the rib. He didn't want to continue because he was hurting. Joe GOOSEN confirmed that. Or was it the rib? You know, yeah, it was rib. Okay, I saw it, blah, 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 whatever. You know, you signed the contract just like he said. Kudos to him for saying, you know, you signed a contract, no excuses. But now there's no more excuses. You need to get with a trainer, commit to the sport, commit to the trainer, train more than 4 days a week, 5 days a week, 6 days at minimum for where you're at, because you never won a world title. You've never contended for a title. So if you want to be a king, you have to get those straps. You want to be a king, you have to commit. That's how it has to happen. But that's all I got for you guys in this little video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Drop that comment, hit that bell icon, hit that share button for me. I appreciate you guys. I got some more heat coming. Peace.